the Auburn Blitz Podcast, your direct source for all Auburn all the time with Brett Pritchard, Faith Richardson, and Randy Lee.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Auburn Blitz Podcast here on a Friday morning. We're glad that you've joined us wherever and whenever it is that you join us each and every day here on the Auburn Blitz and making Auburn Blitz part of your daily Auburn athletic intake. Brett and Faith here with you on a Friday morning. We've made it to the end of another week, and they go by faster and faster. It seems like. Faith, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning. Good to see you too.
Lot going on. Another high school Friday night. Auburn will be taking on Texas A&M tomorrow in College Station. We'll be there for that. So looking forward to that trip. It should be fun. It will be close. That's what I've titled this one this morning. It will be close. It will be another game like Oklahoma where, frankly, it's going to come down to can Auburn execute or not? That's really what it's going to come down to. I think we saw in the Oklahoma game that, yes, there were a lot of crazy things that happened. We won't rehash all that. We've talked about it enough over the last several days. But when it comes down to it, the further away you get from games, the more you look at, okay, what could we control? What could we do better? What are the things that we let slip away if you're Auburn? And Auburn had a lot of that. And when you look at the score and you go, Auburn lost by a touchdown, it took Oklahoma scoring on their last drive to do that. And even when they did that, they went for two and didn't get it. So Auburn still had a chance with the ball to go down and win the game. But that was the more I look at that drive, Faith, I know you and I were on the field. You'd been down there the whole time, but I had come down and joined you. And the more I look at that, Auburn had 4.5 minutes. This is not like Auburn got the ball back and it was like, well, Auburn had enough time to put together a drive and drive down, and they could not.
He just got sacked left and right.
But before that, it started on the penalty on special teams again, and then just could not get out of their own way with penalties. And then a sack, it just felt like they would move, and then it would go back, and then it would go back again, and then you'd move the ball out to the 25 with a decent run, and you felt like, okay, get a first down, start moving the chains, and then it was backwards, and then to the point where you were so bad that the clock had eroded down to like a minute and a half, and you get sacked in the end zone. And then, again, even with that, you're only down a touchdown, and you line up for a onside kick that looked like you were going to have a chance to get, didn't let it go 10 yards. It's like – so it's just – and then we can go back through all the other plays on offense, the missed passes, the whatever – people not running the route correctly, Jackson overthrowing them, whatever. It's going to come down to, can Auburn finally make those plays instead of us sitting here talking about why didn't they make them?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I think on the offensive side, we've seen how well Jackson Arnold goes in those hurry-ups and in those drives in practice. And I don't know what the disconnect was. I don't know what the problem was, because for him to get sacked, I don't know how many times on that drive, but I think two, maybe
two or three, I think,
on that drive alone was incredibly disappointing and not something that we also expected.
You and I get a chance in practice along with everybody else to see that hurry up, no huddle period that we tell everybody about. It's really the only thing that we get a chance to see real action. And again, usually that, and they pumped the music in this week. Last week during that drill when we were there, they did not, but they pumped the music in and it was deafening. Couldn't hear anything, thought, you got 5 minutes to run as many plays as you can possibly. Seriously, it is 5 minutes and let's see how many plays you can run in that time frame and move down the field. And, you know, defense will make a play here or there, but for the most part, the offense really is dialed in during that period, and they make plays, and people are on the same page. And did not look that way in Norman, though. Again, you just shows you can emulate things and go through things in practice and try to replicate crowd situations and all that kind of stuff. And practice is practice, and then you get in the game, it's a whole different ball of wax, and it just didn't work out. And it really was because of the false starts on that last drive, in my opinion. It was because they could not – I don't know if it was the hearing thing or if they were just anticipating the pass rush or whatever it was. But, you know, when you keep getting five yard penalties here and 5-yard penalties there, and you look up and, you know, you're behind the change, it makes it – now they're just pinning their ears back even more because they know that Auburn's going to have to throw the football to get where they need to be. So, mistakes. I mean, really – so we saw the offensive line. I posted that earlier this week. They had the big speaker behind every one of the offensive linemen, you know, going through the drills, because it's going to be loud tomorrow, like deafening loud in Kyle Field. It's one of the largest venues that Auburn's going to play in. So that's gotta be almost perfect. You're going to make some mistakes. I know our prediction is penalties for Auburn this week. So go ahead, and I'll go ahead and give that disclaimer. Go ahead and get your predictions in for this week. I've got the gift certificates ready to go in the mail for Jerome, Shane, and Kyle. So I've got all that picked.
I got the winner of last week whenever.
Yes, and Faith's going to announce the winner of this past week here before we get off today. But go ahead and get your predictions in for Texas A&M. Tiebreaker is going to be penalties for Auburn. I hope it's a low number. But again, Faith, I'm going to shut up and let you talk on this. I mean, it just really is death by 1,000 paper cuts. It really, yes, Oklahoma played okay, but it really wasn't about Oklahoma. It was more about what Auburn didn't do.
Yeah, Auburn didn't show up the way that they could have in that last drive specifically, but also, yeah, I mean, you're kicking yourself in the foot each time that you have a penalty and you're going back 5 yards, or because, I mean, ultimately, Oklahoma, they had more yards on for penalties.
They did, yes.
But Auburn had more penalties. And I think we were 13 for 85, and they were 9 penalties, 99 yards. And
yep,
it does make a big difference of how many yards, you know, you lose there. But in those critical situations that you need to either get a first down or make something happen, and then you can't even do that.
You know, and then we're going to get into this Texas A&M matchup situation here in just a minute, because you now force basically what Shane just said over here, a must-win in College Station. I hate to say it that way, but it really is, for the team to stay on track to do what they want to do this year and kind of fulfill the expectations of what we've talked about for the last 3 or 4 months. And we again, I hate to sound like a broken record, but this is the part of the season that we all pointed to when we saw the schedule. We said these 2 road games are going to be tough, probably against ranked opponents when Auburn rolls in, and it is. And look at Texas A&M, they're a top 10 team. Okay. And you just lost to Oklahoma, and then you get the break, and then you got Georgia at home. What does Auburn look like after those 3 games is the question. Are you 0-3? Are you 1-2? Or do you flip the script and turn the page and turn the corner and 2-1 going into the rest of the season? And if you're 0-3, I just dread what the rest of this year is going to be like if you're 0-3 in these games. I dread to see the comments over here on the right after that stretch. I dread to hear what the rest of the media is going to be saying about the season. And then I dread the mentality of the team at that point, because they know, and everything that they've told me and you and everybody else in the media when we've had a chance to interview them is they know they've got a good team. They know they've got a good roster. They know they have a team that can compete. Well, competing's one thing. Auburn lost a boatload of close games last year. You're gonna continue that streak. You just lost another close one on the road. You're gonna be content to lose 31-27 to Texas A&M on Saturday and walk out of there going, well, we're right there. People, I think Auburn people have had enough of saying, well, we're right there. And so I think we're back to Missouri again. I don't think we ever left, Faith. I don't think the Missouri mindset's ever left us. And when we mean that, show me. Baylor was a good start, but now you're in conference play. Can you go on the road and win a meaningful football game? Well, this is about as big as it gets. They're number 9 in the country. You beat them last year. Although it was crazy, you beat them. I think you got a better roster this year. I think they may be a little bit better in some spots, but we'll break down some numbers. But Faith, that's what it boils down to me with. Can you go beat a good team on the road?
Yeah, I was going to say that the being on the road part is definitely going to be the impact of the game. Again, last year with the home field advantage, that's ultimately, I think, what it boiled down to. But here's the thing. Can Auburn sustain their significant lead that they continue to have in games without letting up and letting teams come back at the end of whether it's the fourth quarter or even that whole second half?
I mean, again, you're right. I mean, whether it's a point or whether you're up 10 or 21, I think Auburn was up, 21 against Texas A&M last year?
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, and then you let them come back, had to go into overtime to win the game. Well, let's look at the breakdown. And before we look at the breakdown, this is where the rubber hits the road. Plays in games are going to matter, but how does Auburn and Texas A&M match up? We're going to go through that right after this. And we'll start.
Cincy Green. For air that's cool and clean this fall during dollar days, call Cincy Green for major discounts on HVAC repairs and installs, plus insulation with Professor Greenbacks. Get HVAC smart at cincygreen.com through Thanksgiving with up to $100 off HVAC repairs, $500 off insulation work, and $1,500 off a new HVAC system. Cincy Green with Carrier, turn to the experts. How cool are these coupons?
Get you some cool coupons from Cincy Green Scout Program Management, a full construction management firm located in the great city of Birmingham, Alabama. And they work with all types of groups, municipalities, educational institutions, whatever it is. But you got a huge budget. You're about to build a huge project. You need a program management company to lead you through that from the planning phases all the way to the finished product. They will stand by you, hold people accountable, make sure you get what you are paying for. Scout Program Management, those guys are awesome. Jay, Charles, Sloan, they're the best. When you meet them, you'll definitely go, these guys are leading my project. So call on Scout Program Management.
Bunkers in downtown Auburn. If you're not going to be at the game in College Station this weekend, go to Bunkers and watch the game. There's a lot of really good football on this weekend. And so Bunkers has 18,000 million TVs in there. And so you'll be able to watch all of the games on all of those different TVs that they have. So don't worry about that. But go to Bunkers. They've got great food, great happy hour deals. And last week they had some Jell-O shots. I don't know what they're going to have this week, but normally they've got something good.
They always have something good. I know what you like that's so good in there. So, again, go check them out. Bunkers, one of our favorite places on the planet for sure. All right. Shane said the game is a turning point or a breaking point. That's a good analysis. I think he's right. It could be a turning point to kind of spearhead. I mean, can we just can I be selfish for a second? Will you allow me to be selfish?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can Auburn please just go win this game and set up a matchup in Jordan-Hare in 2 weeks with Georgia at night, where Auburn's got 1 loss. Georgia, I don't know what their record will be. You got Alabama this weekend. I mean, can we just set this thing up to where it's like, man, here we are again, back to the days of old? I mean, are we going to limp into this freaking game after an off week of hearing negative, just pound, and then you're getting ready to play again your oldest rival, and you feel like you're limping into the game? I mean, can I just be selfish and ask for that, please?
I can't even to think about going into that Georgia game with 2 losses already.
Yeah, I just almost wanted to have a moment of silence for that. So, but anyway, all right.
Can you please send the
Tiebreaker.
penalties for Auburn so that I can count you for the questions?
You kind of had a little Italian accent there, so I can count you. Kind of sound like a little mafia slang.
I wish. No.
All right, let's get back to this matchup. All right, numbers wise for these two teams, Texas A&M likes to throw the football. Marcel Reed throwing the footballs, 9 touchdowns to 1 pick, but 323 yards per game, Faith, through the air. How does that match up with Auburn's passing defense?
Are you asking me?
Well, I was. I think, were you looking at it? Are you looking at that?
No, I was
All
not.
right, I've got it. It's 232.8. So Auburn gives up a good bit through the air. Okay, when you look at that off the hoof, you go, that's not good.
No.
I thought Auburn contained Oklahoma last week, did a better job. It wasn't an air raid attack from Mateer like we all kind of felt it would be. So that was better. But let's look at the running game. Rushing offense for Auburn.
198.
Yes, 198. So look at their defense. How much are they giving up?
139.
And that's not good for A&M. I mean, when you average giving up 140 yards on the ground, there is your asterisk right there for Auburn offensively.
Run the freaking ball.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
If it doesn't work going to the right, go to the left.
It doesn't work that way, go up the middle, right? It's not that simple, but I think, okay, let's not all forget what we talked about going into the season. What's the most experienced unit on this team, Faith? What is it?
Offensive line.
Got to step up and actually play like it. Step up and play like it. So what did Auburn do against Baylor? They ran the football. They were able to impose their will up front, run the football, and control the game that way. Control the clock, win the game. So then you look at it from that standpoint. That's what Auburn's – again, the run sets up the pass. Now, guess what they're going to have to do to stop the run? They're going to have to they're going to have to stack the box. Yeah. What's going to happen when you stack the box? You're going to have opportunities like you saw against Oklahoma with Cam Coleman on the edge, maybe Malcolm Simmons too, maybe Eric Singleton. You're going to have some shots downfield. Can you connect? Again, Auburn connected on a couple. They also missed on a couple, and when you see those opportunities, you got to be able to take advantage of it. So I think Texas A&M is going to worry about Jeremiah Cobb, Jackson Arnold on the RPO game, and then you've got Damari Alston who catches the ball really well out of the backfield. So is Jeremiah Cobb. Use them more. Yeah. Okay, they just sprint them out, get them on the corners, and see if you can
use Damari Alston for what we've said he's good at is outrunning people on that corner,
right,
by the sideline, and let him take off from there.
I'm with you. I totally with you. All right, here's Auburn from an efficiency standpoint. It's pretty good. 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. Marcel Reed, 9 touchdowns, 1 interception. But here's the thing. You can be conservative to a fault. You can be so apprehensive about making a mistake that it hurts you. And I think that's going to be the next part of what I want to talk about with Jackson Arnold, Faith. And we've said all of this a million times too. Does he have the ability to go out and beat anybody? There's no doubt. That guy's a gamer. He's gritty. He's got the moxie about him. But he will not throw unless he feels like it's 120%. He's 120% confident that the guy is open. And you can't play this game that way. I mean, he has to be confident that his receivers are going to go and beat their guy, and he's got to put the ball up. I'm not saying take a Brett Favre gunslinger mentality where you just throw it like in triple coverage every time. You're like, I'm going to throw it so hard I'm going to throw it through the guy's back into my receiver's hands. Like Brett Favre never saw a situation where he didn't think he could get the ball to his receiver. That's why he threw so many picks, but he didn't give a crap. He'd go right back, throw it again. He won a lot of football games, but he also cost his team a lot of games too. But Jackson Arnold is like, man, if this guy ain't 5 yards open, I ain't throwing it. And he's just going to stand in there and take another one to the chops. So can he break out of this? Like, is this something – are we going to see him get through this? There's not a coach out there that can coach him out of this. This switch has to flip in his mind.
Yeah.
Can that happen? Will that ever happen is the question.
Yeah, definitely from a mental standpoint of, all right, got to be able to trust. It just comes down to the chemistry that you have between your receivers and how well you know them. And I get, some people saying, all right, Cam Coleman isn't consistent with his routes that he's running and, this, that, and the other. You've got more than just Cam Coleman. You do need to throw to Cam Coleman more. There's no question about that. But you do have Malcolm Simmons and Eric Single. You've got other receivers that you can throw to that we haven't, I guess, talked about the inconsistency there, but it's just about throwing to them, targeting them more.
Yeah, I mean, when you go back and look at the stats from Oklahoma, again, they're not terrible, but they're not going to blow anybody away. I mean, it's not going to be anything that, 21 of 32, 220 and a touchdown. It's good numbers, but that's not numbers that are probably going to win you a game on the road when you look at the running category. When you look at the rushing category and go, we only ran for 67 yards. It's 220 and then complimentary with 160 on the ground, probably win the game. But 220 with 67 on the ground ain't winning a game. But the crazy thing is that you had a chance to win a game. Even with those numbers, you still had the lead with 7 minutes to go in the game, and you weren't able to hold it. And, I asked the question to Coach Freeze after the game. I said, what did they do on that last drive that they just went down the field so fast because to that point, Auburn had held them in check. They had moved the ball decently through, between the 20s, but it wasn't like they were in some hurry-up mode. They went to the hurry-up mode, and it was like we forgot how to play defense. He was like, well, they were spreading the field and, all this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, okay, so what? Didn't you know they were going to do that? Didn't you think you needed to get some pressure? So Auburn dropped back and just let them pick them apart. I asked that question for a reason. I'm like, you just took the lead. Why was it knife through butter for them going back down the field to score a touchdown? It was like points were at a premium all game, and then Auburn scores a touchdown, and then all of a sudden Oklahoma goes right back down and scores a touchdown, takes the lead. I'm like, well, crap. That didn't last long. It lasted about 3 minutes in game time. So, I'm still, there's things on the defensive side, obviously in situations that have to be worked on too. So Michael said, let's use the tight ends more in the passing game.
Well, look at what Preston Howard has done in the
Oh.
past couple of games, where the ball has gone straight through his hands basically every time he's been targeted. I don't think we necessarily need that. Brandon Frazier, he's better at blocking, but we haven't seen him targeted all that much this year.
Yeah, I haven't seen. Yeah, we haven't seen any. Well, he got targeted in Baylor and he fumbled too. So, the tight end position has not been good. And I'm with you. Like Michael, I hear you. Like I'm with you.
We've seen how well it works
Yeah.
for other schools.
Yeah.
I've said that for so long, but
I'm disappointed.
we don't have the guys that can go and make those things happen. Why are we going to target them? Because that's literally just wasting a potential anything that isn't just, all right, we're staying the same.
Michael, I agree, and I think both of us agree on the tight end and the passing game. But unfortunately, right now they're not proving to come through when you need them to. And I'm disappointed in Preston Howard. I'll be honest with you. To this point, felt like he would be what you and I have been seeing in practice leading up to the season. You and I were kind of like, athletic guy, causes mismatches. I really can see something happening here, and he hasn't come through. And now you don't have Horatio Fields, and we're about to talk about this for a minute. I thought Horatio Fields had a decent start to the season, and I thought, he made a really good catch against Baylor, to kind of keep a drive going. He had kind of become a guy that Jackson Arnold could lean on. I know he only caught 2 passes against Oklahoma, but let me look at his numbers for the season. He had 12 receptions for 106 yards. I mean, nothing mind-blowing, but a consistent guy that you could rely on to move the chains sometimes when you needed him. When you look at some of the other guys, Malcolm's got 9 catches for 93 yards right now. Cam, see what Cam's numbers are. 13 for 237 and 2. I mean, nothing's just earth-shattering, but I mean, he's been a solid number 3, number 4 guy for Auburn. I mean, I didn't look at Eric Singleton yet. Let's look at Eric. He's got the most receptions at 22 with 209 and 2 touchdowns. But I mean, when you go back and look at Horatio Fields, 12 for 106. I mean, he's been a sure-handed guy. You ain't got him anymore. Broke his foot. Out. Now, guess who gets to step up?
Perry Thompson.
Here he is.
What are we expecting to see from him that we have not seen the past 2 years from him, or year?
What are we expecting out of Perry Thompson?
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what we need to see. We need to see development, because obviously the development part has been a question mark of why he's not on the field. It's not physical ability. It's about, why did Horatio Fields transfer in and take his spot, Faith? It's not because the coaching staff's picking on him. It's not because they're like, well, we're just going to make him sit over here behind somebody else. I mean, he got beat out. I mean, there's no other way to say it. So guess what now? And we heard there in a stretch in fall camp where he was tearing it up, right? And then you and I go to practice, literally, after we had heard he had 3 good practices in a scrimmage, you and I roll into practice on a Tuesday, and all I see is Hugh Freeze and Marcus Davis chewing his butt out for about 30 minutes because he wasn't going 100%, and he was loafing a little bit. I'm just telling you what we saw. Okay, I'm not making anything up. I'm not trying to bring up. I mean, am I off, Faith? Am I telling the truth?
No, you're not off at all. It's disappointing because Auburn was fighting so hard to get him, and everybody thought that he was going to be this. Auburn was going to have the Freeze 5. We were going to see so much from them, and yet to see anything from him. And so, yeah, I agree. The development is what we need to see.
Yeah. I think the development is look, okay. Marcus Davis is on. He's on spot right here. Marcus Davis is responsible for getting these guys developed and ready, right? That's his role. So, again, I think that this is a great opportunity for Perry Thompson to step up, man. Look, hey, your time to shine. Let's see what you're made of. Now that it's your job, now can you grab? We've seen this happen in sports so many times where a guy finally, whatever reason, finally gets his opportunity, and it just catapults him, and it takes off to a great career. Maybe that's what we're going to see on Saturday with Perry Thompson. All right, Ed said, I am tired of hearing Jason Campbell and Andy saying every Saturday Arnold missed another wide open receiver running by himself, and Jackson didn't see him. His eyes have to be downfield while scrambling wide open backs out of the backfield. You got to see the field, man.
He scans it once and then he doesn't look back. That's what he does. Before, we were already upset with Peyton Thorne, who wasn't even scanning the field. He wasn't looking up. That's quite literally the truth here.
Right.
And then now we're like, yes, you can literally see his eyes moving. Once he goes from one sideline to the other and he sees that the route that they were supposed to run isn't open, it's, oh no, what do I do? I got to run the ball. I mean, if you can't go back and look again.
I love your imitation. I think you do a great job on the imitation, but I think you're showcasing how frustrated we all are with some of this stuff. Tony says, to back Michael's point, Brock Bowers at Georgia carried his team a few years ago. Travis Kelce to one.
We don't have Brock Bowers. I'm sorry. I seriously am so sorry because I hate Georgia. I really do. We don't have a Brock Bowers. They don't have
one anymore either.
Yeah. But seriously, I mean, don't you think if we have when's the last time we've recruited in that area very well?
I was going to go deeper into that, but I'm going to leave it alone. Michael said, me and Faith are about to have a Randy and Brett moment. Hope not, Michael.
I mean, here's the thing. I get it. I'm there to say, yes, I think we need to use the tight ends more, but I'm also going to say we don't have a Brock Bowers. We don't have anybody that
I think all of y'all are agreeing in your own way. I don't think there's anybody.
I just don't think we have the weapons to use there. Well, I mean, seriously.
I think you're right. I mean,
it's so frustrating because for the longest time, we've just not used them point blank. Well, now we've seen Preston Howard just drop the ball every single time the ball gets near him.
I know.
And so it's like, I don't want to use them. Why would you?
Yeah.
And he's not big enough. He's not big enough to block like Brandon Frazier is. Truth be told, he's not. So I don't know.
He's more of a.
And Rivaldo Fairweather, I mean, when he was here, he wasn't.
He's a roller coaster. He was the same thing. I mean,
yeah, he wasn't consistent, but he wasn't. I feel like he wasn't in the middle of the field. Sometimes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. Can somebody name me the last consistent tight end we had at Auburn? I'm gonna let anybody add into that, please. I've got one in the back of my mind. I'm not gonna say it, but I want to see if.
How long ago was it?
It's been a while.
Okay.
I mean, it's been a while. Now I may have missed one, but my mind goes back to one guy in the last 12 years. That's sad. Again, I may be missing one that I'm overlooking, but I mean, but the bottom line is I think everybody's agreeing that we need to go to the tight end more. But what Faith's saying is we don't have the players, or at least they haven't proven to this point they're reliable enough to go to them and make them part of the offense. And look, here's the deal. if I'm a defensive coordinator, I'm giving you that. I'm going, hey, if you beat me with that guy, then congratulations, but I ain't worried about him lining up out here beating me. So that should even be better for Auburn to say, look, can we get our crap together over here with the tight ends and utilize them? Because this could be a massive weapon for us because teams aren't even honoring that as an option. I mean, it opens up doors. It does. It absolutely does. All right, if nobody's going to reply to what I said or everybody's scared to say anything, CJ Uzomah is who I'm thinking of. Am I missing somebody between CJ Uzomah and now on the tight end deal? Lutz. I mean, Lutz was back before Uzomah. So, yes, Ed's in the same ballpark. Is that the last guy in 12 years? Tight end? I mean, do you watch the NFL is my question. Do people watch the NFL? Do they see how utilized that position is? Michael says Lutz. Yeah, I mean, we're going back even further. Yeah, I mean, CJ was after Lutz. So, yeah, those are the last two guys that have been significant at tight end for Auburn that you felt really good about throwing them the football and them blocking and just a complete package. And you saw, I mean, what they were able to do. I mean, that's not good. All right, let's go to some more of our partners here before we get off this morning. Old Number One Customs bathroom finished at my house. So proud of it. Gonna have pictures coming up next week for everybody. So I'm excited to show that off. 334-752-6162 for your next remodel project, bathroom, kitchen, bedroom, outdoor living space. Look, man, the weather is going to turn. There's leaves falling everywhere. If you want an outdoor living space, they can come out and get you an outdoor living space done pretty fast. And you can be enjoying this nice fall weather that will come eventually. And you can sit out by the fire and you can have your drinks and you can watch games and do whatever the heck else you want to do around your outdoor living space setting. So go call on them, 334-752-6162.
JFA Blue Plumbing, go ahead and get that Home Atlas water filter duo for just $15.99. It is so important to have filtered water throughout every single faucet in your house. So go ahead and get that Home Atlas water filter duo installed by JFA, 844-JFA Blue. Oliver Ross, if you've got a party or tailgate, sorority, fraternity day party, whatever it is, go ahead and call on Oliver Ross to be your tailgating or whatever bartending service. They are professional bartenders. And so they're going to come in there, get the job done, help serve you and your guests, and then they will be on their merry way and clean up after themselves. And that's honestly one of the best parts of it all.
On their merry way. That's it. Just get it done and out of there. Appreciate all of them. And again, appreciate Russell Medical Center partnering with us here on the Auburn Blitz. We will have their logo up soon. Technically, they're not supposed to start till October, but we're giving them a little extra because we are excited to have them partner with us at Russell Medical. Care starts with knowing you. From preventative checkups to advanced diagnostics, we bring big city capabilities with the comfort of trusted local providers. Our experienced team delivers top-tier treatment with a personal touch, building relationships that last a lifetime, committed to keeping our community healthy, investing in the latest technology, training, and patient experience to deliver safer, faster, and better care. Your partner for every stage of health, Russell Medical Center. Check them out here in Alexander City. Tubb said, I knew I'd be called crazy speaking on Marcus Davis years ago, but here we are. I'm not going to argue with you, Tubbs, on that. Development for Perry Thompson is going to be front and center stage on Saturday. So can Perry Thompson actually contribute in this football game? He's going to be taking the place of Horatio Fields. But is he going to be a factor? Is he going to is he going to have an impact on this game is the question. So we will see how that all plays out. Anyway, I think when you look at it from a standpoint of what Auburn's got to do to kind of wrap this up this morning. Auburn's got to run the football, and they got to be consistent in the secondary. They can't let Marcel Reed just have a heyday, just throwing the ball all over the field. It can't be knife through butter. So they did a good job against Mateer with that. I thought, they kept things in front of them. They didn't get burnt. They didn't give up any really big plays. And that helped because, Oklahoma, they couldn't finish the deal in the red zone a couple times. They had to kick field goals. So if Auburn can do that, they'll stay in the game. And then Auburn's got to be able to connect on some of these plays. When the coaches dial up the right play, you got to make the play. There's just no excuse at this level. If you're going to be a championship type caliber team or a playoff caliber team, when a team gives you an opportunity, you have to take it. And if you can't take it, then you're probably not in that category. So that's just about as simple of it as analysis I can give on that. All right, predictions for everybody. Faith, do you want to tell everybody who won the prediction from last week?
Yes, Bob Williams won. I plugged it all in because honestly, I have no idea how to tell who the winner is because that's too much math for me. And I haven't taken math since high school, and that was kind of a long time ago now that I think about it.
Did it? And I didn't.
Yeah, so Bob Williams is going to be the winner this week or for the Oklahoma game. Yep. But go ahead and get your predictions in for this week with the tiebreaker being Auburn penalties, because if you don't have the tiebreaker, you're not going to be able to participate. So Bob Williams, go ahead and DM one of us on either Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is. And you can shoot us your address. Brett has got to get all those out. So go ahead and send that, and we'll get you some good stuff with pepper tree steaks and wine.
Some really good stuff too, by the way.
I have an Auburn Blitz sweatshirt on. We've got Auburn Blitz merch, hats, shirts.
Got all kind of great stuff.
So
got some other stuff going to be coming out very soon too. So yes, congratulations to Bob on that win. And it's already come down to the tiebreaker a couple times. We've had to go to the tiebreaker because of identical picks. So make sure you get that tiebreaker and penalties for Auburn. Hopefully it won't be too many. Real quick note on basketball for everybody. Tahad Pettiford was at practice yesterday. So I know everybody was kind of like, oh, well, what's going to happen? He wasn't at the press conference. We talked about that yesterday. Tahad Pettiford 1,000% was at practice yesterday. And so, look, I don't think that anybody leaves. I don't think anybody leaves at this point. I think everybody, if we do have somebody leave, I think it might be one guy, and I'm not going to say who that is, but it just feels like everybody else is on board and everybody's ready to move forward and everybody's ready to attack the season. So we'll see. Can you believe we're talking about basketball already again?
I cannot believe it.
I mean, it is, gosh almighty, it goes by fast. All right, so yeah, just wanted to give that little bit of a note. Anything else, Faith? We do want to remind everybody, I will be on location at JR's. Faith will be zooming in. I guess that's the term now. She'll be live streaming with me from a different location. So, but we will be on at lunch today. I will be at JR Sports Bar and Grill. Faith, you're the loser there. I'm the winner because it's going to be some really good food.
I know, I'm jealous.
Looking forward to that, but I will be there. But Faith and I'll be back on together at noon, and looking forward to a great show from there. So make sure you got time between now and then throughout the show at noon to get your predictions in. Okay, so make sure you do that. Get that rolling. Again, we will be in College Station tomorrow. Looking forward to it. Hope it's a better result. Is all I can say. Tired of rolling up like over the last 2 years, Faith. The amount of close losses this team and program has had is unbearable. It's time to flip. Time to flip it. Time to get a big win on the road, and let's see if Auburn can do it. All right. Anything else?
No, I think that's it.
All right. Well, again, I'll let you send us out. We'll see everybody back at noon again.
Yeah, I hope everybody has the best weekend ever.
Be nice to people. We're always going to say that. Be nice to people. Help people out. It goes a long way. And we'll see you back at noon, and then we'll see you again on Monday for another edition of the Auburn Blitz podcast. And we'll see you Saturday afternoon after the game for the Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine post-game show. We'll talk more about that at lunch too, but we'll see you at all those places. So a lot more to come. Everybody have a great day.